is Kristy, and welcome back to another episode of Stories for Little People here at Eastside Freedom Library. Today, the books that I have are a little bit about adventure and growing up or not growing up. So I'll leave that up to you. The first book that we will be reading is The Lengths and Types of Ships at Night. This one's really interesting, so pay really close attention to the pictures. All right, here we go. You may have heard of ships. They float on water and carry people and things. You may have heard of the sea. It's when water gets together with a plan to surround us. You may have heard of the night. It's what happens when Earth turns away from the sun. And last, you may have heard of beauty. It's what we call something that pleases the eye so much and we ache and say, oh. But did you realize that of all the world's most beautiful sights, there is nothing more beautiful than a ship and its lights on the sea at night? This is true. This is a factual book. Look at this ship. It is a container ship full of giant boxes of things. On the ship, there are giant boxes of toys and giant boxes of bicycles and giant boxes of oven mitts and basketballs. And this ship is lighted by thousands of lights, and these lights are reflected on and to and fro obsidian sea. Has there ever been anything more beautiful? No. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. There's a trawler, a kind of fishing ship. Look at its strange arms. Look at its strange face. Look at its lights as they are doubled on the water. Has there ever been a prettier picture? We say no. Actually, maybe this is better. This is a row-row. Is there anything better than the name row-row? Yes, there is something better. And that is the sight of a row-row moving swiftly through the water at night. Row-rows are named because they carry cars. They roll on and they roll off, thus row-row, which makes them the best ever of all boats. It's really fun to say row-row. But no, there it is. There is an exploration vessel. It's designed to explore the unknown oceans, to map the seafloor, to find new underwater species. Look at this round radar unit. Look at its winches and cranes. This is surely the most beautiful of ships at night. Oh wait, look here. This is a bulker. See it? So long and so low. It's built to carry corn and cement and heavy stuff like that. Bulkers are everywhere. And they sail at night with their lights on, and they go from boring bulkers to something magical and triumphant. Look, how can you disagree? Forget what we said about all the other ships being the most beautiful. This is a paddle-wheel ferry boat, and nothing has ever been more gorgeously floated in the night. Look at the lights. So many lights. Ferry boats like this were developed on the great Mississippi River, and we are known for chugging up and down rivers with giant paddle wheels spinning in the back to carry forth all the passengers. Never could there be anything prettier. Look how pretty that is. Is that a little fish? Except these. These are galleons. Have you ever heard of a galleon? Not a gallon, a galleon. They were great and fast sail-driven boats favored by the European sailors and even pirates back in the day, and were once lighted with oil-powered lanterns. Now, the antique galleons that still sail the sea are decorated with modern lights inside and out, up and down. And when they appear at night, like illuminated dreams of the past, they are the best of all things on water. They're really, really big, very, very tall. But perhaps you like ice. Perhaps you like the ships that blast through the ice with the lights of every color. Do you? Do you? It could be that you do. This is an icebreaker, an indestructible and brave ship that cuts through ice near the Earth's poles, forging a path for other ships. With its perfect purpose and its light that turn and sweep, surely the icebreaker is the most stunning of ocean vessels. I didn't know ships did that. It's really, really cool. Or it could be these. These are known as junks. They come from China, and they have been around for 1,000 years or more. Look at the beautiful sails, which look like the wings of dragons. Junks are used to move cargo and people that are still used today all over the waterways of Asia, from India to the Philippines. There can be nothing better to look at ever on water. Unless you come across this. This is a small fishing boat, a kind often seen all over the world, from Taiwan to the Mediterranean Sea. A few people will operate the boat, and they will find a fish at night, using bright lights to bring the fish to the surface. Why? Because fish are drawn to the moon. This is true. With the moon so bright, tiny animals called plankton come to the surface, and then tiny fish come to eat the plankton, and bigger fish come to eat the smaller fish. So these fisher people will use the bright lights to mimic the moon to fish for fish. But maybe you don't like fish. The smell, the scales, ooh. Maybe instead you like Paris. This is a riverboat designed to cruise up and down the Seine, the river that winds through Paris, France. See how low it is? How sleek? It needs to be, to fit under the low bridges that are everywhere in Paris and allow people and cars and bikes to cross the river. And when they cross the river at night, they see. And someday you will see. These low river boats shushing through the golden Parisian water. You could travel the world and find nothing anywhere more beautiful, period. I've never been to Paris. Have you been to Paris? Maybe we've tried, but maybe you're tired. We have seen so many boats from all over the globe, and maybe you are ready to rest. If you're ready to rest, there is no better place than on a houseboat. A houseboat is exactly what it sounds like. A house that is also a boat. A floating home. And when a floating home has dimmed its lights, when everyone inside is ready to sleep, there is nothing prettier, nothing happier, nothing better anywhere on the sea. And that was The Lights and the Types of Ships at Night. All right, we'll move on to The Giving Tree. And this is actually just a very simple book, but it's really, really fun to read. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come. And he would gather her leaves. And make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches. I actually can't climb a tree. I want to though, one day. And eat apples. So it's an apple tree. And they would play hide and go seek. When he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by. See, he's growing up. And the boy grew older. Oh, see, there's two people. And the tree was often alone. Then one day, the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money." "Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I only have leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have some money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy. And she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife, I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you can cut off my branches and build a house. then you will be happy. And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time. And when he came back, the tree was so happy. She could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I'm so sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am so sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish I could give you something, but I have nothing left to give. I am just an old stump. I am so sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could. "Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down. Rest. Sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. And that was The Giving Tree. And our third book today is Where the Wild Things Are. It's one of my favorite books. All right. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. And another. His mother called to him, "Wild thing." And Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. Don't tell your mom that you're going to eat them. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. You can see all the forests growing, the trees in his room. And grew. You can see Max giggling to himself. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. There he goes. Roar, roar, roar. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. Off he goes into the ocean. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Max is not scared. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. You can see them. Oh my God. Oh wow. And made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. Roar, roar. See, they're having a party. They're having fun. They're swinging on the trees, like you swing on monkey bars. They're letting Max ride one of the wild things. He's not too happy about that. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be somewhere someone loved him best of all. Then, all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." And the wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Well, Max stepped onto his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. His mom left him his food, and it was still hot. All right, that has been Where the Wild Things Are. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the stories, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.